Hey everybody, Willius Maximus here. We're gonna jump on and do a little ARK. We're gonna do some startup actually. You'll get to your start screen if you don't want to mess with an online multiplayer where everybody's out to get you. Just host a local. So we're gonna go to that. And we're gonna start with the island. Okay, so we're gonna leave it here. You can change your general rules over here. I leave it to its default, just so that everything's kind of, it's a good place to start, let's just put it that way. Okay, so yeah, we're going to start with the island. We're going to come down here. We're actually going to host a non-dedicated session. Now what that will do is that will allow you to start a game. You can actually make it private. You can still invite friends to your private match. So we're going to start. I'm not going to put a password in, just going to call it Willius. We're going to make it a private match. We're going to accept that. It'll bring us to the next screen. Load everything in the ARK. This takes a little bit of time, so a little bit of patience here. So what I'll do is I'll do some startups in a couple of different areas. We'll do an easy, we'll do a medium, and then we'll do a hard, so you can see the differences. I'll go through how everything works, and hopefully it's helpful. Okay, this is your screen where you can adjust what you look like, male, female. We'll stick with a male. We'll come down here and I'm going to use the right stick to change. And there's multiple different skin colors you can go with. We're going to pick a lighter colored, maybe give them a little bit of a tan here. Okay, left stick will move you down through your selections here. You can actually use a random if you want, something like that. Okay. So that gives you an idea of what you look like. You can highlight that, move the right stick right and left, so it gives you an idea what you look like. We're going to start with the South Zone 1. That's easy. We'll name our guy here. We'll go with Maximus today. Alright, once you have everything set how you like it, you create a new survivor. Alright, when you start off in an easy, there's usually nothing here that's going to cause you any problems. Not saying they won't, because like for instance, if I go over here and I punch this turtle, it's going to kill me. You can see on the ground there's some rocks, there's seashells. Seashells you can't pick up. You pick things up by pressing the triangle button on PS4. So you can see these rocks here, you can push the triangle and you can see I'm picking those up. You want to pick up a bunch of rocks. And then also when you start, you have absolutely nothing. You have pair of boxer shorts basically, just in your underwear. So everything you do, you have to get by, you know, like for instance, you can't grab wood. However, if you use your R2 button, you actually punch. So if you get close enough, you actually punch. Now you see on the left side there, it comes up and shows that you're collecting wood, thatch, all things you're going to need here in a minute. Once you get to where the item is broken down far enough, it will disappear. Now stuff will respawn, but it takes a little time. We're going to R2 on a few of these things here, just to collect some wood, some thatch, some stone, to get your very basic pick that you can make. Now how you get into your menu options, see right there it says level up is available. access inventory to apply it. If you notice on the right side of the screen, toward the bottom, there's an arrow that's flashing. That is your level up. Okay, so we're going to hit the circle button to get into our inventory screen. And now you can see you've got a few items in here that they give you to begin with. Here's the stones you picked up. It shows 13, 2 wood, 22 thatch. This also, if you're in your inventory screen here, if you hit R1, it switches you to your crafting screen. Now you can see there I have a primary pick and a torch and the basic note. It shows this one lit up because that's something that you do have the materials to create. Okay, we're going to come over here first. Now when you're first starting this game, there's 3 things you want to watch. You're going to want to increase your health, keep you alive. Food and water are good, but the best things I've found is to increase your health, your weight, so you can carry more. Oh. Hello. Luckily that's a passive creature. We could have just got our butts kicked by a pterodactyl. But anyway, go back into this screen here. Again, that circle button to get to your inventory menu. So yes, health, weight, so that you can carry more, and melee damage is a good one because of course you want to be able to kill things faster. But then, you know, just use your own judgment. You know, you can throw it on fortitude. Fortitude will actually help you in the elements. It makes it so that you don't get cold as fast or get overheated as fast. It also will help your torpidity, which torpidity is basically if a poisonous creature attacks you, your torpidity is actually how well you can resist passing out. Okay, so the lower it is, the faster you'll pass out when you're poisoned. Okay, I am going to do health for the first. Once you do your level up, the engram screen will pop up. These are all the things that you can make. I suggest at the first of the game you don't get too many points. It shows down on the bottom left. You have 8 points available. You're going to want a stone hatchet for sure. Spears are really good for doing damage to animals. However, you're going to need a campfire also, so you're going to have to kind of pick and choose which way you want to go first. I'm actually going to go with a spear so that we can get into some animals and get some meat. Eventually, when you get meat, you'll need the campfire to cook the meat for food. Because in this game, yes, you do have to eat. You have to pay attention to that. Down on the right hand side again, let me see if I can find a spot where you can see it good. There we go. You have the arrow. That was your experience and your level up bar. Just underneath that you can see it's kind of shaded. That's weight. Once you get overburdened, you can pick up too much stuff. You can't move, so you have to be careful of that. The next one underneath that is your water. If you're hydrated, that'll be full. If you're dehydrated, that'll be gone. The next one you can see actually the food. It looks like a ham. That's your food. It's partially down a little bit because I've been actually doing things. So also let me show you the hand that comes up above. See the hand that on the right? That means that there's something that you can harvest by hand, which is actually stones right here. Okay. Thatch you get from trees, wood you get from trees. You do need fiber also, and fiber comes from plants. So if you come up here like this, you can see the hand again. You actually get berries and fiber when you pick from plants. So we're going to do that. Also, what I'm going to do quick is we're going to go back in and see what tools we can create. So again, you hit your circle button to bring up your inventory. And then R1 gets you to the crafting screen. So we're going to make this basic pick. The way you can do that is you highlight it and you hit R2, and that will make one of those items. As you can see, when you highlight over the darkened, it shows you what you need to make those items. Like for instance, the torch here, you need flint. So when you use the pick, you can actually get flint from big rocks. You can break up rocks with it. Same thing with the axe, you need flint. The spear, it shows here you need flint and wood. So let's go see what we can do. Now that you made that pick, it should be in your inventory. Now you can take from your inventory, you can double click X and it will put it down on your bar in the first slot. Now this bar down here is a quick toggle. So when you're out of your menu, you can see down there the pick is in the left D-pad position. So you hit left D-pad, it'll bring up your pick. Okay, and then that goes also for all the other spots. And I'll get to that here in just a little bit as we fill it up. There's up on the D-pad, right on the D-pad, down on the D-pad, and then you see there's square, triangle, circle, X, and then another left and right on the D-pad. Those are actually accessed. It's hard to see it. Let me see if I can illuminate it a little better. But you actually have to hold L1 to move to the other side. Then you can, when you hold L1, you can hit square, triangle, circle, X, left or right to equip those spots or use those spots. Because I'll show you in a little bit. You can actually put food down on that bar. In fact, we can do that right now. So we'll open up our menu. We've got 10 of these azelberries. So you can also, to put these on your bar, if you double click it, it'll go in the next available spot. If you click on it once with X, it'll highlight it. You can come down to the bottom and place it where you want it. I like to have berries actually in my triangle down on my bar. So I will put it there. Okay, so now, because if you notice my food is down just a little bit, if I hold that R1 again and hit triangle, you eat berries. So every time you push a berry, you'll eat one, or every time you push triangle, you'll eat one berry. Okay, let's go get us some flint. Again, if you pull your pick out, find some rocks. Not all rocks you can break. Some of the rocks that are part of the hard landscape, you won't be able to get those. But these that are like this on the beach, again, it's R2 to do any punching, hitting, striking. It's basically your attack button. So we'll get a little bit of flint. There, I leveled up again. Now every time you level up, you'll hit that circle button to go to your inventory, and you'll see the pluses in the center that are lit up. So this time I'm actually going to put the skill point on weight. That allows me to carry more. And now I've got a new set of engrams that I can learn so that I can create them. I definitely want to have a campfire. And then a water skin is also very helpful. And you'll also see you can start making clothing, which, because of the elements, there's places on the island here that, well, there's snow and colder areas, so you definitely want to think about, and it also provides a little bit of protection against attacking animals or dinosaurs. Okay, I think I'll go with water skin at this time. Alright, so now I'm going to come back in here. You can see I can now make a torch and an axe. So I'm going to make the axe by pushing again R1. See, because it consumes your resources that you've been collecting, if you make something and everything else goes black, that means you don't have the resources to make it. Okay, let's talk about what you need to be doing at this startup now, because it will get dark before long. And on the easy areas like this, where we're down here on the beach, there's not too many things that are going to mess with you. There's not too many dinosaurs that are terribly violent. I've been playing this for quite some time. It never gets old for me. I could come in here and recreate a new game once a week, and I enjoy it. It's pretty amazing. Once you start moving inland farther, things will get more difficult. See, now this is a dodo bird. You can actually unequip your weapon by doing the same thing. You can left click so that you're using your fists, and you can literally punch this dodo with your fists and knock it out. And you can feed it berries, and you can actually tame it and use it as a pet. At this moment right now, I'm not going to worry about pets. I'm more worried about having food. So, sorry about this dodo bird, but we're going to kill you. And because we're low level, it took a little bit to get him dead. Okay. Now, when you come up over to these, you can actually hit triangle and you can drag it to wherever you want to go. So you can drag it away from, like, if there's something on the beach here, Dilophosaur or something that will attack you, you can drag it away. Then again, you hit triangle and set it back down. Your pick will get more meat out of animals. When you have an axe, it will actually get more hide, because you'll need hide and meat to do other things in the game here. Alright. I'm going to open up the inventory by pushing the circle button. I do have an axe now, and I'm going to put that in the next slot down below, so I'm just going to double click X and drop that down here to the quick use bar on the up directional button. I'm going to go back over here to the inventory, R1, to get to the crafting menu, and you see I can make a water skin now. Water skins are good because if you're up on land away from water and you start dehydrating, it allows you to take a drink. So we're going to make one of those by pressing R1. Okay. Now to fill that, you can go to any water source. And actually, I'm going to show you, I like to have my water skin, and you can put these wherever you want. But I'm just going to highlight it and put it down here on the square button. So now you can see my water skin is down there on the square button. Now note that the water skin will leak and expend all of its water. It can leak out. You can see across the way there's a dinosaur moving around on the beach. I believe it to be a Dilophosaur, which we're not going to play with him right now. We're gonna leave him alone. If you want, have at it. Get you a spear, make a spear, and go find some dinosaurs, and you'll see that when you're just starting, it's best to leave some of those alone. Okay, now to fill your water skin, come to any water source, stand in the water, and then you do just like you're going to use that water skin. You're going to hold L1 and hit square. It will give you a drink. It will also fill that water skin. Okay. Alright. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start gathering stuff so that... Oh, I just heard another dodo. Let's see. Sounds like it's coming from up this way. Oh, yep, there it is. Sorry about this, dodo. Here in a little while, we'll get into taming and stuff and how to get these things tamed. It's quite a trick, but you can basically tame almost any of the dinosaurs. There are a few that you have to tame them by feeding them, or actually there's a hyenodon in Scorched Earth that you literally have to be sneaky, sneak behind it, pet it, and make it happy to actually tame it. And then it'll follow you around and attack for you and carry things for you, which is really nice, because you'll see in a while that things get very heavy. So we're going to use our pick on trees. The pick on trees will give you more thatch. Thatch is the first building that you can do as you level up. Oh, I heard another dodo. Okay, I just leveled up again. There it is. Sorry, buddy. Well, if I could hit him. There we go. Okay. But yes, you'll get more thatch if you use your pick on trees. If you use the axe, which we'll use here for just a second, you'll get more wood. And now it's easy to switch back and forth like I just did. Left button, left directional pad is pick. Up on the directional pad changes to axe. Now if you hit up on the directional pad again, it puts away the axe. And then you can pick to get your fibers again, because you'll need fibers for building. You'll need thatch. In fact, let me go in and show you here. I got to level up, so a circle button. I'm actually going to up my melee damage this time. Those are the three I like to add on to first. And now you can see we're starting to get our foundation, door, thatch wall, hide sleeping bag. Now sleeping bags and beds, they're nice to have because when you place them down, if you die, you can actually respawn at the bed or the sleeping bag. Sleeping bag is a one-time use. The bed is a permanent, unless something destroys it. That's a lot better than just respawning in a random location. I did that in a northern hard area where I didn't have a bed made yet and got killed. And I got killed probably a dozen times trying to get back to where I had my house built, because I was spawning in random locations around saber-tooths, dire wolves, T-Rexes, yeah, a bunch of nasty stuff, and it was just a startup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with thatch foundation, thatch wall, and we'll do the door frame this time. Okay. Now you can pick these in any order you want. The more things you do, the faster you level up. So the more wood you chop, the more thatch you gain. You want to constantly be doing something. Even if you get to the point where, let me see if I can get to the point where I'm overloaded and I can't move. We'll get a bunch of wood, because wood is pretty heavy, stone is pretty heavy. It'll come up and tell you once you get to a certain spot that you're encumbered. And it means that you're carrying way too much. If you notice on the right side again, underneath where you have the level up, the weight symbol is slowly filling up. Now when that gets completely full, like it's showing now, it came up and showed. Now you can see that I can't move very fast. It's because I'm carrying too much. I heard another dodo. And the meat is always good to have. But I'm going to drop a little bit of the wood because I want to be able to move a little bit. So to drop things out of your inventory, you just highlight over the top of it, like I am on the wood, and you hit L2, and that'll discard the item. It'll actually throw it out on the ground to where you can pick it up again. So if you want to, if you have somebody playing with you or something like that, you can actually toss it out and somebody else can pick it up. Where's that dodo? Okay, So I'm not going to worry about the dodo for now. I'm going to show you. You should probably, as you are getting prepared for the night, if you hit the big button in the middle of the controller and hold it, it will bring up this menu where it shows all your different, there's a few different camera options, but on the top left it shows the time. It shows day one. Let's see, where is it? 15:37. So that's 3:30 in the afternoon. So it will get dark, and when it gets dark, there's things that come out at night that sometimes aren't very nice. I noticed down the beach here. Oh, there it is. Oh, there's two in here somewhere. Now there are male and female dinosaurs. Once you tame them, you can actually have them. Yeah, it's kind of tricky sometimes. You got to remember where you drop one or the others, because they'll disappear. They actually will decompose after a while. But yes, once you tame a male and a female, you can actually have little dinosaurs. They will mate, and you can actually raise them from little tiny, which is pretty cool sometimes. I'm kind of being cautious here, looking around to see. I know there was a triceratops down here wandering around I could see a little bit ago. They are passive unless you do something to them. See there at the top it says you're cold, you should find some warmth. You can see down on the bottom right there's a snowflake. It just means I'm cold. Now if that turns to an ice cube, it literally is like hypothermia, and you will get too cold and you can die just from being too cold. Yeah, there's a trike right here, which is pretty cool. We are in no way, shape, or form going to be able to do anything to try to tame one of these guys, because to tame them you have to knock them out. Now there's different ways to knock them out. You either get a club or your fists and you punch them until they are knocked out, or here in a little bit you can actually take berries and spoiled meat and make narcotics, and you can apply those narcotics to arrows and make tranquilizer arrows basically. But if I were to hit this guy, he'd kill me fast. He'd kill me really fast. But it's cool, you can still hang out with him. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to move inland here just a little bit. There's a lot of resources here. There's rocks, there's trees, there's lots of really good stuff right here. So we're going to find a little open spot. I think this looks really good right here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into our crafting menu. Hit circle to get to the menu, and R1 to crafting. Quick note, you noticed it started raining. If it is raining and you have your water skin, you can actually fill it just as though you were standing in water. So I can literally hit R1, or L1, excuse me, and square. It'll give me a drink. Normally that will empty it, but because it's raining, you're actually refilling it. So when it rains, you can refill those canteens or water flask. Okay, I need to eat a little bit, so I'll munch them berries that I had. You can hold the button down, and eats a bunch of them at a time. You can see it shows food going up on the bottom right. Okay, but back to getting a structure built. So we're going to go back in here. We're going to go to our thatch foundation structure. Now there's two ways you can build. You could actually build as many as you possibly can by hitting the triangle button. But for now we're just going to hit R1 one at a time. Okay, I can build 2 foundations. There, I just leveled up again. I'm going to come back over, hit X on health to up my health a little bit. I'm going to need a thatch door. I can't, let's see, 5. We're going to do one of the sloped walls. This is for up above for your roof structure. You can just do a flat ceiling and it works as a roof, but I like to have them with a little bit of shape. I'm actually thinking we're going to learn cloth hat. Okay. Go back out of that, go back into our menu here. Now, to place your foundations, you are going to go in, I'm just looking to see, because if it's uneven, you can sometimes have off-level foundation pieces. So you want to try to find a spot that's fairly flat. This does have a little bit of an incline, but I think we'll be okay. We're just going to make a small structure. So you go over the top of it, and you hit R2. That will actually pull it out, and anytime that it's green, you can place it. If it's red, let's see, if I get too close to this tree, it'll turn red. You can't place it because it's obstructed. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of line this up here a little bit, and then you hit R2 again, and then you can actually, at that point, you can turn it. So you can turn it whatever direction you want. We're going to try to keep this fairly straight on the hill, and then R2 once again will put the structure down. So here we have our first foundation laid. We have another one. O to open up the menu, R2. That looks good because it will line up on each other. As you can see, it snaps to the location. Again, R2. Now I'm out of something. I can't build any more of the bases, so let me take a look and see. Go crafting. Shows that we need fiber. So we're going to put our pick away by hitting left. And we're just going to go and pick plants. It's kind of a long video. You're probably getting the gist of it. For these first areas like this, you just want to collect things. Don't mess with too many animals. You can eat the berries. You can get the water when you start off because you're close to a water source. So yes, for startup, this is exactly what you want to do. I'm gonna finish this video by finish building this small hutch. Let's see, we're going to do 2 more bases. We'll just do a 2x2 structure. We're going to want to make a door frame and a door. And then we're going to need a couple walls to put up around the unit. So we'll make a few of those. R1 will get you back to your inventory, show your bases and everything. We'll come up here and stand up on top. Let's see which way these will go. Again, R2, R2. I'm gonna pick this weed out of here before we, otherwise it'll show through the base. And it may actually regrow and end up back in the base anyway. Okay, so there we have that. I'm going to put the door out the back side here to go uphill. Because sometimes if you put them on the front side where there's a big, if you have a big gap here, this isn't bad. I can walk up on there, so it's fine. But if you have too big of a gap, it's hard to climb in. So I'm going to put it on the low side. R1 again, or R2 again. Figure out where you want to place it. You can put it there. You can put it anywhere you want. It'll snap to a location. Again, R2 to finish. We'll take the door. R2. We've got walls. We've got 3 of them. So we'll put a couple of walls up. And basically, you just want to collect whatever you need to get these walls and things made. Let's see what I need now to get 1, 2, 3, 4 more walls. Oh, I can still make some walls. Just 1 more, so. Once that's made, it'll take the, okay, I need fiber and thatch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my pick, because pick gets more thatch. Get some thatch. Got another dodo right here somewhere. There it is. And I'll show you really quick how to get food made also. Let's see, we do need more fiber to make walls. So we'll pick more plants, and if you notice, as you pick plants, it'll show fiber, it'll show berries. A couple of things about berries. You have anything that's other than white or black is good to eat. Okay? Black ones are not good to eat. They're narco berries. If you eat too many of these, you pass out. It's basically a narcotic. The stem berries, you can actually fill up your stamina very fast, but it will dehydrate you extremely fast. And if you're not around water, bad idea. You can see now we have, because we have a couple of stacks of meat in here, we have some meat that's spoiled. Now when you, like I was saying earlier, you can make a narcotic, basically a juice, out of the narco berry and the spoiled meat. So yes, I usually will L2 on stem berries and just throw them away, because I don't want to make the bad decision of taking a bite out of some of that and getting dehydrated. Same thing with the narco berries, but narco berries are good to make the narcotics, so I'll hang on to those for a little bit. Here when I level up before long, making a chest to store things in is also one of your first things you want to do. Oh, see, I just took a swing at that and it said my pick has broken. Now there's a couple of ways you can fix that as long as you have the materials. We're going to go in and take a look here. Yes, I do have the materials. So you can either highlight over the top of it and hit R2 and it will fix it. Or you can actually, in this quick menu, you can hit left like you're going to equip it on the D-pad, and it will actually fix it. So we'll wait till that fixes, and then we can pull it back out to use it again. I can hear the footsteps of the Triceratops. Okay, as you can see, the sun is starting to set. That's why we're working on trying to get this building finished here. Go to crafting. I need 2, 3 of the walls. And we may not have a ceiling on it tonight, but we can also make a campfire, so we'll make one of those. Oh, I'm making noises because I'm hot. If you see now down on the bottom, it shows a flame. Now that flame says that it's pretty hot, and that can actually reduce your life as it goes. So let's see here. I'm going to add to melee damage again. I skipped over weight this time because we're not carrying anything too heavy. But if we get into anything tonight while it's dark, we will want that damage. Let's see what else we can make now. I've got 10 points to burn, so I can do... I think we're just going to do the ceiling for now, because I won't have enough to do the sloped walls and the roof. Actually, I could have done it that way, but that's okay. You can see here now the narcotics, a mortar and pestle that you have to make the narcotics. And then of course you still have more clothes that you can make also. Maybe I'll make pants and a shirt. Okay. Circle to get back out of everything, just like anything else on PS4. Let's see if we can get these walls up. Again, R2 after you highlight it, R2 to place it. You can also put these things down on your fast bar, but I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, I keep making noises because I'm hot. And you can see my life down on the very bottom corner. I didn't finish telling you that. The life is the very bottom. The plus sign is your life. Just above that is stamina. You run out of stamina, you can no longer run. Okay, so there I have walls up all the way around. You have to hit triangle, it will tell you to open and close a door. I actually did make a campfire. Come down here again, it's R2. We'll put it off over here in the corner. Okay, now it shows access inventory. You can hit triangle, or because sometimes when you hit triangle, when you have items on the fire, it will actually light the fire by hitting triangle instead of accessing the inventory. So if it's a little bit easier to use square to access inventory. That way you're not getting it mixed up. So what you'll do to make the fire work is you need to put, of course, a fuel source, which is your wood. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cook some meat. So we're going to put the meat on there also. Now, if you notice, the triangle says light fire. You can still hit square to go back into the inventory, and then hit triangle, it will light a fire. Now you notice down on the right hand side, because it's getting darker, the heat has gone down. You can notice by the smaller size flame. If you also notice, my food level is down fairly low. It will actually come up and tell you that you're starving. You'll start making all kinds of obscene noises when that happens. Let's see if I can... I need wood to do the ceiling parts. So we're going to come back out here, switch to an axe, which gets you more wood. I actually need 4 ceiling tiles to cover our structure here. Now most of the time I won't chop the wood that's right next to my house. I like to have a little bit of the cover. It's your own preference. You can clear out all the wood from your building. Do what you want that way. Okay, go back into our menu and crafting by hitting circle and R1. And we need 4 of these ceiling structures. Let's see how many I can make. Only 2, and then I ran out of materials. We'll see what materials I need. Okay, I need more fiber. But for now, I'm going to actually place... I know it's kind of crazy. We were talking about this, me and my daughter, the other day, about the campfire in a thatch structure and how it might not be a good idea that it would burn down. But there's no issues that way. You don't have to worry about that. Come back out. I need fiber, so put away my axe. See, now it says I'm cold. Shows by the... So I can hear something walking around. I'm pretty sure it's the Triceratops. But because we're up the hill a little ways, you never know. There's raptors lurking around, especially over there toward that red obelisk. Up over that hill where that cliff is it's like an open field, and it's been known to have some raptors up around there, so. And at this level, raptors are not nice. Alright, let's see if we can get... Oh, just one more. Let's see what else we're going to need. Oh, now I need some more thatch again. So we will, once again, step out, use our pick to get thatch. But yeah, these are the basics to get started. From this point on, it's basically level up, pick the things that you want or need, and test the waters as you go. As you level up and you have higher health, it's harder for you to die, or it takes longer for you to die. Also, your fortitude helps you in the weather. Your melee damage, of course, you're going to want that higher. Even movement speed, you know, and all these other skills. They're all fairly important. If you want to do a lot of diving, which megalodons out in the water, which are gigantic sharks, will make very short work of you. However, there's oil sources and stuff like that that's under the water, and also some angelfish that you need to get, like, you can do night vision goggles eventually, a few other things like that. So yeah, there's, just experiment with it. Like I said, I've been playing it for quite some time now, and there's still things that I even haven't done. So we'll finish putting the roof pieces on here. It was dark before we finished, but now we have somewhat of a safe area. We'll go back over to the fire and see how our meat's doing. You can see now I have 14 cooked meat. We'll take that off of there. Now, to transfer things from your inventory over, you can actually go to whatever you're going to transfer, push and hold X, and it will transfer. Otherwise, you can hit X once instead of holding it. Like, let me show you. We're going to take this spoiled meat. We're just going to click on it, and then we're going to come over to my inventory, find my spoiled meat. You don't have to find the spoiled meat. You can pick basically anywhere, and it should put it over here. But if it will stack if you put it on the spoiled meat. So then I'll just hit X again, and it pulls it off of the fire and puts it. But it's easier to just push and hold X, and it'll transfer it for you. Other things, this waste that's in here, the charcoal, eventually you can make gunpowder, things like that. So some of this stuff, if you want to save it, you can. However, it just bulks up inventories, and there will be plenty of time for doing that later. Okay, so this is going to, I'll conclude here. You know, the basics of getting started. Hopefully that's a big help. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, and give me some likes, give me some thumbs up, tell your friends. And if you have anything that you want me to do, by all means, shoot some messages at me. I will do what I can to get those done. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.